Hi Sec2s. In this first video, we will be recalling some of the terms that we need to be familiar with in algebra, and then we will take a look at what are quadratic expressions. Now you should be on page 62 to take down these notes. These are some of the terms that we have learned in Sec 1, so it's a quick recall of these things. So firstly, what do we mean by terms? Now in an algebraic expression, terms are separated by plus or minus. So you can see that there's a 3x here and there's a 5 here, and that is separated by the negative sign. So that means there are two terms in this algebraic expression. Now usually we write the expression in order for us to identify which are the terms, we write it as a sum of the few terms. So in this case, we can write 3x minus 5 as 3x plus negative 5. So basically, what are all the terms that are being added together? So the two terms here are 3x and negative 5. You can see that the 3 and the x are not considered two separate terms because they are actually multiplied together. So terms are always separated by plus or minus, addition or subtraction. But when we write down the terms, we write down 3x and negative 5 so that everyone looking at this will know that it's actually 3x together added with negative 5. Next, what is a variable? Variable is the letter in this algebraic expression that can actually take on different values. So variable means it keeps varying or changing. For example, in this expression, x could be equals to 1, for example, or x could be equals to 2 in another scenario. So the value of the variable will keep changing. So we call that a variable, and there's only one variable in this expression, which is the x. Next, what is the constant term? In 3x minus 5, if x was 1, it would be 3 times 1 and then minus 5. If x was 2, it would be 3 times 2 and then minus 5. Can you see that even if x changes, this negative 5 doesn't change? So that's what we call the constant term. So the constant term is negative 5. So the constant term is always the term without any variables multiplied to it. Next, the coefficient of x. Coefficient of x is the number that is multiplied to the variable. So in this case, the number multiplied to x is 3. Next, what is a linear algebraic expression? We saw the word linear in our previous topic on linear functions as well. So linear algebraic expression basically means the highest power of x in that expression is 1. For example, in 3x minus 5, can you see that the power of x is actually 1? We usually don't write the power 1, so it's understood as 3x. But if I were to write the power, in this case, it would be power 1. Next, let us take a look at the difference between an expression and an equation. An expression is basically a mathematical way to tell the operations that are involved. For example, 3x minus 5 just means 3 times x minus 5. So it's a set of operations that come together. So that is an algebraic expression. Whereas an algebraic equation means I know that 3x minus 5 is equal to some value. For example, maybe equals to 15. Then from here, I can solve for x. So there's one value of x that will satisfy this equation. So in simple words, an expression, you will see that there's no equal sign. It's just a combination of mathematical operations put together. Whereas in an equation, we would have a left-hand side expression equals to an expression on the right-hand side. So in these examples given here, you should be able to easily write down which are the expressions and equations. You can try writing them down first by pausing this video. Okay, so generally you can see that everything without an equal sign, so all these are algebraic expressions. Everything with the equal sign are equations. Now let's move on to what is a quadratic expression. Now a quadratic expression will always look like this. So it looks like ax squared plus bx plus c. You can see that there are three terms. So the terms are ax squared, bx, and c. And most importantly, the highest power of x in this expression is actually 2. So a quadratic expression, the highest power of x is 2. You will also see some conditions here such that a, b, c are constants and a cannot be equals to 0. Now this condition is there to ensure that it's a quadratic expression. For example, if a was 0, this will not appear anymore, so it will not be a x power 2 expression. Okay, so basically this is the meaning of a quadratic expression.